It's about 7 a.m. We're in South Ottawa. Those headlights over there, that's Dr. Alykhan Abdulla. He's coming to pick me up. He's a family doctor. That's something that's in short supply these days. I don't have one. He's about to show me why almost nobody wants to be one. Not these days. Dr. Abdulla, my day's just starting, but I know you've been up for a while.
Yeah, we're in a rush. Let's get going.
So you've started your day already?
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a busy day today. We have to get through about 25, 30 people. So it's important to know, what they're coming for, collect the data, pre-prepare the charts if possible, make sure we're not missing anything so we can be as efficient as possible.
Is that a typical day?
No, it's not. This is a hard day, but there are days like this typically in a week. So 2 or 3 days like this.
This is not an anomaly within your week?
No, that is absolutely true.
What are you thinking when you're driving into work like this in the mornings? Like, what's going through your mind?
Yeah, no, that's a very good question because I'm contemplating all the things where I'm going to potentially have problems with. And that always makes me feel a little worried and anxious. Omar, I always feel like I'm going to make a mistake or I'm going to miss something that's really important. It's a sense of dread in some ways. I've been working all weekend to prepare for this week. The opportunity to get a bit of a break hasn't really happened. And I want to do a good job. I feel obligated to do a good job. And it's people's lives, it's their outcome, it's the quality of their life, it's the family, what struggle and suffering that they go through in their lives. It's a big, heavy responsibility, and I take it seriously, and I want to make sure that I do the best that I can for each and every person that I see. I'm not sure if it's going to work out, but I'm always hoping for the best. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, no matter what the level of energy and effort that you put into it, the system defeats us each and every turn. And because it does that on a more consistent basis, it almost seems like you're patching holes of a dam that's going to burst open. And that is not a good feeling. If you're looking for a cause to burnout that happens for doctors on a day-to-day basis, it's the fact that we probably feel that we lose more battles than we win. And that's a serious problem.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
And you've got about, an hour before your first patients arrive?
Yeah, about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Sorry, come on. What's the door open? Okay, and here we prepare for the day.
I'm just one of the estimated 6 million Canadians without a family doctor. Most of those doctors will tell you when it comes to their job, the model that we've been using, it's broken. And as if that wasn't enough, thousands of them are reaching that age where retirement might be just around the corner.
Okay, fantastic. A little bit of light in here, if that's okay.
Oh, hi Nancy. It's better returning the call. How are you? I'm okay there, thank you. Yeah, how can I help you?
So we got our first patient here, so let's get started on the day. I'm gonna have to put on our running shoes. Hey Bruce, how you doing today? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Just get our range of motion in, so go all the way up straight. Any trouble there? Left shoulder, right? Yeah. And then we'll do up this way. Not bad, but you can see you're grimacing a little bit, right? And hold it there. Yeah, you can see how you're fixed and you're not moving as far as you can. Yeah. Push up against my hand. Yeah, so you're weak there. Summarize, the fit test has been sent to you. As soon as that comes in, the colonoscopy will be sent out. I'll put you in the hopper for that with no cortisone today.
Okay.
Good deal?
Excellent. Thank you.
You take care of yourself,
Yeah.
okay?
You
Go
too.
get your stuff. I'll see you later.
Thank you for being here.
No worries. So now the key is to get all of the the notes done. We were fortunate, we started a little bit early, so it's 9:02, so we're okay. I got a little bit of a window before the next person comes in.
So what struck me about that was that you seem to have an encyclopedic knowledge of every single thing that people come in with, but is that because you were studying their charts earlier? Like,
Yes,
because you
absolutely.
knew they would come in with those problems, or do you just have that all in your brain?
No. There's no way I can have thousands of people's in my brain. So the mark of doing good family medicine is understanding what people are likely going to have problems with. So there are problems that they're following, there may be new problems that they bring, and then there's a trajectory that they need to go on.
And you're studying all that in the morning before they come in.
Exactly,
So you know,
and that's why we got here so early in the morning to do that, and for us, I did a little bit on the weekend as
so you're
well.
like studying for an exam.
Exactly, every single day that I'm here is an exam, right? Let's get back on.
It's
We're back on track.
11:20. 11:22. You're on your 7th patient of the day.
Scotty, how are you?
Good. How are
Thank you so much. How you been? What's going on?
You know what? This last couple days have been the best I've felt in about 15 months.
So your ferritin 715, you've seen it go up and down. There's a graph right there. You've been a lot higher before. You're kind of normalizing, but you're normalizing at a level higher than normal. When symptoms are intermittent, Scott, that suggests that it's fixable.
Yeah.
If they're there all the time, then we have to worry, especially if they're getting worse.
No, it kind of peaked, I'd say, about mid-January, and
Okay.
I'm finding it's getting better.
What happened to your stomach? Didn't you have some issues with your stomach?
Stomach's been...
Okay. Like you don't have a gallbladder problem or a liver or a pancreas problem. Fantastic.
Naproxen, I'd like to get... I'm on my last refill.
Yeah. I'm going to give you the same thing you had. We'll see you later. Okay. For you.
Good.
Okay, so you see the pace. We got to keep going. What's coming up next? Hey, Brian. Nice to see you. How are you?
If you think this morning is hectic, think about this. Dr. Abdulla shares his workload with a team. So he's got a nurse practitioner, a secretary, a few other doctors helping to spread that workload. And that's kind of crucial when you find out 300 to 400 calls come into this office on a typical day. He's been doing this for 3 decades, so he knows how to make it work, but the demands of the job have changed. His patients are aging, their issues are piling up. Our healthcare system is lagging behind, and whether it's a terminal diagnosis or something else less severe, it's up to him to break the news, both good and bad, to each of his patients. And he's got 5,000 of them. Can you tell us the story behind this?
Yeah, so this is the hard part of our job, when we have to tell people they can't drive anymore, or they can't look after their own finances anymore, or they can't live in the home anymore that they've, lived all of their lives with, right?
This is something you're gonna have to do later today?
I'm gonna have to do that later today, yeah, probably at 7 o'clock in the evening. So it's not gonna be a pleasant conversation. He's gonna have issues with memory, and then in addition to that, there's going to be a bit of a fight there, right? You tend to tell someone after 50 years that they've been driving, you're not going to be able to drive anymore, right?
It just strikes me like that you're saying without a family doctor, this is the stuff that gets overlooked.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you have people driving on the road that maybe
Yeah.
just haven't been observed.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
their faculties aren't there to be a safe driver anymore.
Exactly. And if you think about it, a lot of people, they drive in their car alone, so no one's sitting there checking in on them to make sure that they're doing the right job, right? So that's going to be a problem.
He used to see more than 50 patients a day. These days, he can barely manage half of that number. And he's got a target, 20 minutes tops for each patient and their paperwork. Any longer than that, and it's going to be impossible to complete the entire workday.
Jonathan, nice to see you. I'm well, thank you. I did have an opportunity to review some of the notes that he had said in regards to your medications. My worry is in that process where you're trying to get yourself feeling better, it's hard to concentrate on yourself feeling better and also try to give your best at work, right? Would there be a possibility that we could be off of work for a while until we get this plan in order?
So that's Jonathan. He has a few mental health challenges that he's dealing with. He's got physical ones as well. Can't go back to work. His family's relying on him to pay the bills, and so it's up to Dr. Abdulla to help him find solutions. That's going to take up a lot of the doctor's time.
If you try to go through medication changes and you're trying to do the counseling and you're trying to do your job, something's going to give.
Yeah.
So it's not uncommon that if you try to do too much at one time, then you won't be successful in any of those things. And I don't want that to happen to you. We've worked hard to get to this stage. It takes time for one drug and its effects to go away and another drug to build up. So hopefully in 30 days you'll feel better about that. Good?
I hope so.
Yeah, we get through a lot of stuff. That is your prescription, sir. Okay, take it easy. We'll see you later. So that was a good case, huh? So if he was a person that didn't have a family doctor, that didn't have a relationship with him, that didn't understand the impact of one versus the other, you know, I know the child, I know the parents of this man, and I know the wife. And so if I didn't understand the whole context of that, he would be coming into a walk-in clinic asking for a form to be filled out, which will probably be declined because they wouldn't have any information or background or context for it. And he would struggle. He would have portions of his life slowly fall apart like a domino effect. And so hopefully we can protect him from that and make sure that he gets the best outcome to manage all of his health issues and his lifestyle issues at the same time, and make sure there's money coming in.
Yeah.
Right?
I would imagine. Are you seeing him more often than you'd see other patients?
I have to, yeah. I'm probably going to see him in a week or two.
Okay.
You know, I try to pace people out for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, because there really isn't that opportunity. There are no spots for me over the next 4 weeks. I'm going to have to figure out when to see him. So it'll be a lunch hour, it'll be in the evening, I'll see him on a weekend or something like that. We'll get him sorted out.
Okay, are you available to come on Thursday? This coming Tuesday for in-person.
So we're a few minutes late. Let's get in there and see Alex. Alex, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Tell me what you have as your list of things that you want to work on today.
It's really just to find out what you learned about my knee.
Sure, let's talk about that. So if you look at someone that has a normal knee, you can see there's space between it. Your knee has no space between it. When you go down and do a full squat, you can feel the impact of that joint and how it tightens up if you lean into it or whatever. You can feel that, right?
Yeah.
So because it's so bad, for all intents and purposes, you really need a knee replacement. That would be the best scenario for you. Let me show you that exercise. You're sitting here, you hold up your leg, you tighten it, you get it as long as you can handle it, and you put it back down. You do that multiple times in a day. The stronger this muscle is, the less pain you have here. Okay? So I'm giving you a prescription for a hinge knee brace. I'm gonna send a referral to the doctor that's at my old clinic to bring you in and do the evaluation and do that knee for you. Good? So that.
All right. Good.
Okay, take care, Alex.
Here, take care.
So you've kind of bought yourself some time now for, what are you doing now? Like you just finished the appointment, you said,
Yeah.
because you wanted to have 20 minutes per patient, and so
Yeah.
what do you use the rest of the time for?
So now what my hope is, I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to send the referral along that he requires. I'm going to make sure that if there's any messages in my system that I deal with them. And I also have to go back in time because there's some people and interactions that I haven't checked in and documented and billed to the government. So I want to clean up on that stuff as well.
Is this all the admin stuff?
Exactly. It's the admin stuff that drowns you.
That admin stuff, it's a huge part of the problem, and it's what's pushing a lot of new medical grads away from family medicine. Because after you put in more than a decade of your life studying and training, at the end of the day, what you want to do is help people. But these days, a third of your day is likely going to be spent filling out forms. There's documenting what you did, filling out prescriptions, insurance paperwork, following up on referrals, reviewing charts. The list goes on, and those forms, they're getting more and more complicated, and doctors say a lot of them are unnecessary. And that's a huge responsibility, because if you get it wrong, the person who's liable, it's you. So more forms, fewer patients, oh, and most of that admin work, it's unpaid. Now you might think, hey, we just need more doctors, but that's not really it. This is more than just a supply issue. If you want a clear picture of the problem, just take a look at our supply of doctors these past few years. The number of doctors per capita, it's rising. We've been able to reach record highs. Problem is, most of them choose a different medical specialty. No one is lining up to be your family doctor. Here's another major reason why. It's how they get paid. It's complicated, and it's part of the reason that you might feel like you're being rushed through the door. A very small portion of them gets to work in a team-based environment. They're paid through an alternative payment model. That's the model Dr. Abdulla is allowed to use. So he shares his workload with a few other colleagues. Only 1 in every 4 doctors gets to work in that kind of team-based practice. Here's how that model works in Ontario. Your doctor gets paid a flat yearly fee to see you. That's based on a few variables like your age and your sex. Bottom line, it's a fixed fee. And so whether you go once a year or every single month, a few minutes of your doctor's time or an entire year's worth of care, your doctor gets paid the exact same. But the province sets a limit on how many doctors can actually work that way. The other 3/4 of family doctors in Canada, they're stuck working in a fee-for-service model. These are solo practitioners, and they're typically getting less than $40 each time you visit. In either of those models, the outcome's the same because we treat our doctors like independent contractors, and so all of their costs, the rent, the secretary, even their own medical insurance, their retirement savings, all of that has to come from this small envelope of flat fees. Our healthcare system turns everything into a business calculation. So do you hire a cleaner or do you do it yourself? And here's the thing, doctors never trained to be business people. In school, most of them only ever learned to work in a team-based model of care.
All family medicine residents train in this patient-enrolled, fixed salaried model. That's all they train in. They've been training in this model for 10 years. They know nothing else. So when they graduate, they have a small proportion of them that can move into a salaried model. The rest of them have to go into a model that they don't know anything about. Right? If you're a fee-for-service doctor, you don't have time to do them in. Your job is to get as many people through that door as you possibly can. So can you imagine having to go through 40, 50, 60 people with whatever amount of clinical time you did and adding on 20%, 30%, 40%, 50% of admin time? Can you imagine that? This is a hard job. These are complicated people. They require a lot of care and attention. And there are some of these people that will come in today that they're saying, I'm not going to be able to make sure that they get a good outcome when they leave. So that warm and fuzzy that I'm supposed to get being a doctor, it's not going to happen at the end of the day. And so it's going to make it very hard for me to sell this to young people to say, come and be a family doctor like me, because you're going to end up getting burnt out, washed up, and pushed on, and you're going to have the challenges that I have and not have the work-life balance. Do you really want this? There isn't enough family doctors. There are not enough going into them. No one finds it interesting or exciting. And there are more and more burdens upon us to manage. And so the possibility of being able to get people their family doctor is going to get smaller and smaller over time. Can we move on? Yeah, let's go. There we go. Thank you. Hey, Catherine.
Good morning.
How are you?
You've just spent the day describing sort of how difficult the job is to the point where not a lot of people want to do it anymore. Why do you still do it?
Yeah, great question. I love the people. I love the relationships. I love the opportunity to be able to make a difference in people's lives. And with that comes gratitude and cards on holidays, or they remember my birthday, or if they see me in the street, they come and say hello. There are people that have given me hugs. There are people that have mentioned my name in their obituary. There are people that remember unique moments in my life. And so they're part of my family. And so that's why I love this job.
You feel like you've been making a difference in their lives?
Yeah, I do. It's harder now than it ever used to be, but I couldn't be anything else except a family doctor. Oh, good. Nice to see you. It's
day
been
done?
a day. It's been a day.
Is that it? Are you done?
That's it. I'm done for the day.
Your last patient's gone?
Yeah, and it's just a little bit of paperwork at the end, and we'll call it quits. We can head home. The house call that I originally had has been looked after through a phone call.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So this is, it's been what? It's just after 8 o'clock. So you've been working since,
7 o'clock, and
Early.
maybe started with some paperwork a little bit before that. So
so you've been going at it for about 14 hours?
yeah.
Have you missed a lot of, I've been wanting to ask you this, have you missed a lot of family time over the last 3 decades?
Yeah, I can say honestly, my first marriage was destroyed because of being a family doctor. The relationship with my children are been damaged in some way. I'm reorganizing my life, my new life moving forward. I'm hoping not to make the same mistakes. I try to mentor other medical students and residents to make sure they don't make my mistakes and that they provide themselves enough balance in their life. These are important questions we need to discuss.
Well, I want to let you get some rest.
Yeah,
Get to that
no,
paperwork.
thank you.
You've been
Thank
very
you for
generous.
joining us. You guys were awesome, and hopefully get a flavor for what it's all about.
We did, and you've been really generous with your time and with
Pleasure.
the access. So I want to
You
thank
take care.
Dr. Abdulla. Thank you very much.
Drive safe, okay?
Okay, rest
Okay,
up.
look after yourself. Bye-bye.
That workday, that's becoming a recipe for burnout for a lot of family doctors. And that's just part of the reason why so many of us don't have one. But here's the thing, Dr. Abdullah's workday, that is typical of every single family doctor that I've spoken to. A lot of them say they're hanging on by a thread, and until we fix that, it's going to be really difficult to recruit new doctors, even just to retain the ones we've already got.